Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert. So we're talking about fat burning this week. Now, what do we actually mean when we say fat burning? What is it you actually think is happening? So I thought we'd talk a little bit about that. So let's take, so there's two areas where we can, or two resources of fat. One of them is from the foods that we eat, and the other one is for the fat which is stored in our fat cells. Okay, so let's have a little look at what happens here and get another picture of why insulin is a pretty naughty hormone to get out of control. Okay, so fats from food. So fats from food or fats that are stored in your fat cells are three fatty acids that are connected together, and we call them triglycerides. Okay, so this is sort of the most common way that fat will enter your body and be stored in your body. Okay, so fats in foods, when they come to the gut, they are broken down to the single free fatty acids. So there's three of them, three in number, and they're broken down so they're free. And it is only the free fatty acids, not the three, but the free fatty acids, which can be burned, as in we will send them to our little cells, and in the little furnaces in the cell, in the mitochondria, they can then be converted to energy, ATP. Okay, so remember that it's only the free fatty acids that can be utilized in the mitochondria. So the foods are going to be broken down into the free fatty acids, and they will then be absorbed in the body. Now, depending on the length of the chain, so the length of the molecule, the fat molecule, it is absorbed, the fatty acid will be absorbed in different ways. So the short and medium chain fatty acids, and there's an article in the blog telling you where you'll find these in the foods that we eat. So the short and medium chain fatty acids are directly absorbed into the bloodstream and go directly to the liver and can be sent out to the body, to all the cells, and can be burned very quickly, converted very quickly to make energy, ATP. But the long chain fatty acids have a different journey. So they are absorbed into your lymphatic system, and then they are transported through the lymphatic system and first are put into your or transferred into your blood system up here in around the collarbone. Basically, this is where the lymph system can transfer the fats into your blood system there. Okay, so they have a different journey of getting into the body. Now, the long chain fatty acids, and there's also an article about which foods have long chain fatty acids. Now, they are not very easy to use directly for energy. They need help to get into the little mitochondria, and they need help by a molecule called carnitine. Now, carnitine is very much affected by insulin. Insulin will stop carnitine in its tracks, so that means that insulin will stop you burning long-chain fatty acids. Okay, so this is one of the ways that insulin is a bit of a naughty boy and will stop fat burning. So a lot of the long-chain fatty acids are going to be stored in fat cells, so there'll be three of these possibly all together, making the triglyceride, which is then stored in your fat cells. Okay, so in the fat cells, so how does that work? Well, we know they're stored as triglycerides, and they have to be reduced, or they have to be converted back into their free fatty acids, and there's three of them, to be transported in the bloodstream to come to the cells which need to use them to make energy, like your muscle cells. So to break them down into the free fatty acids, the body uses a hormone sensitive lipase. It uses an enzyme, and this is called hormone sensitive lipase, or HSL for short. And yes, you probably guessed it, insulin will actually stop the production of this enzyme, so it's going to stop the release of the fatty acids from their little package called a triglyceride. So that's another way which insulin is going to stop you from burning fat. Okay. So, but if we get the free fatty acids out, then we will be able to burn them get them into the mitochondria, hopefully, if carnitine can work, and then we will be able to convert them to energy. So there's a couple of hormones which actually increase the production of this hormone-sensitive lipase. Glucagon is one of them. So glucagon is insulin's partner in crime, if you like. So insulin decreases blood sugar and glucagon increases blood sugar. So they work together there very nicely. And glucagon will be released when blood glucose is low. So when it goes low, the body is trying to now mobilize its fatty acid storage so we can use that to make energy instead of using glucose. Another hormone which is responsible for increasing the production of hormone-sensitive lipase is noradrenaline, or adrenaline. And this is all part of the fight and flight system. So if you have an acute need for energy, you're running after the bus or something like this, then noradrenaline and adrenaline are produced, and they are going to increase the production of hormone-sensitive lipase. So all your fat is mobilized, so you can continue making energy if your blood sugar should get a little bit low. So there are lots of nice little fat-burning hormones, as in they will mobilize the fat for us. But if insulin is still high, we need to get those long-chain fatty acids into the mitochondria, and that's not going to happen if carnitine can't work. So what is the story here, or a conclusion here you could perhaps use? The short and medium-chain fatty acids. So the medium-chain fatty acids we call MCTs, don't we? Medium-chain triglycerides, we call them. And lots of people know that these are very good. So this is like your coconut oils, this kind of thing. And these are very good for energy production. And they are not necessarily stored. They will be used primarily for energy. But there is some more articles in this blog which tell you more detail about the MCTs and the short chain fatty acids and the LCTs, the long chain triglycerides or fatty acids. So have a little look at those. But remember, the most important piece of information here about your fat burning is if you don't have insulin under control, there are many different ways that this hormone will prevent you from burning fat. Happy hormones, happy life.